Listening to your music, right? I just get, a lot of time. Like first, I felt like putting on the smoker's jacket, and then I just feel like I'm sitting in a box office smash hit movie, and like you can
Mm,
score the movie. Listening to your
mm.
music is just like it's like you can visualize, you know, different scenes, and you can visualize what's going to happen next, and you can visualize, you know, like the love scene. You can visualize the hate scene. Have
I
you ever
love
been a
that.
That's exactly the vibe I get into. I'm like, yo, I feel like crossing my legs, you know what I mean? And acting like the most interesting man in the world, listening to your music.
Yeah.
Have you ever been approached about scoring like a movie, a
Um,
commercial? Or,
I've actually had some songs on some movies, on some like independent films.
I knew it.
I wrote a I wrote a song for I actually worked with Fonte on it on a they remade of the movie Fame. Do you remember the movie
Okay.
Fame?
Yes. Yes.
But they remade that. We did a song for that. But um I mean, it's funny that you're talking about this. Like my next venture, like what I would want for it to happen for me is to be able to do movie soundtracks, film, TV. Like that's what really, really want to do next. Like I would love to do something like that.
That is like I said, I really do when I'm listening to music. I feel like I'm in a theater,
Thank you.
and your music is the soundtrack to what's going on.
Word.
So is with you being such a talent, and is it two or three studio albums?
So I had a few mixtapes. Like Carlita's Way was a
Dope.
mixtape. Then I had like Doug and Patty. I had Nostalgic Nights. Then a compilation. Then I had I'll Be Gorgeous When I Die and Kiss Me Green. So
Okay. So
yeah.
is there a Carlita Duran team behind the machine?
You looking at
Wow.
it?
Wow.
Right now it's just me. I know I probably need if I start writing songs for movies and stuff, I might need, like a little team. But definitely it's been me for the last since I started.
So take me through the process. You get a phone call because you the plug, and they say, "Listen, I got this artist out of Denmark, and here goes the concept, and he needs an amazing voice. You know what I mean? We need you to write the
Mhm.
hook, and you know, what's the process like once you get that phone call, that email, that text message?
Um, I always have a conversation with the artist, what they're looking for. I like to listen to their music first to kind of get a feel of, if it's somebody I've never met before or I don't know their music. Um, Usually, they would give me, an idea of what the song is about, something, short and sweet. And I kind of just build off of the idea that they give me. Um, and I just start, I mean, I usually don't write anything. I don't want to say freestyle, but I kind of start singing it out, singing lyrics out, and until it makes sense. I don't know. It's a kind of a weird process. Like I just start singing bars first, just to kind of get a melody, and I kind of puzzle. It's like a puzzle. I kind of put it together, and at the end, I have a whole piece.
So did you just say that you really don't write? You kind of just
Well, I don't type.
yeah. Listen, that
I
that has to
mean,
be that has to be acknowledged. That has to be acknowledged. That's the way I acknowledge things on the show.
well, I don't write on paper. You know, after I recorded the song, I write it down so I can like get the lyrics and
Okay.
everything written and um, submit it and everything. But when I'm recording a song, I don't really. And I guess I learned this from Fonte. He doesn't write. I mean, some of the songs that I've done with him, he wrote for me, so that's the only time I've ever seen him write.
Okay.
Um, but usually the way I write a song is like I just kind of mumble a melody first, and then I kind of hear lyrics in the mumble. I don't. It's a weird process, but
Well, let's not give
then
away the secret.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Let's not give away the secret. You know, I don't know if anybody is watching Snowfall. You know, you get in trouble when you give away the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Fra-
watched that show.
Franklin's boy gave away the secret to how they cook up so we're not gonna give
And
away
now
the secret.
everybody do it. Okay.
We're not gonna give away the secret. We're not gonna give away the
Okay.
secret. But I also wanted to ask, is is that like how do you determine what artist you work with?
Um, to be it has to be good vibes, I guess. I don't really have a like a checklist of why or who I'm going to work with. Like I said, I need to like their music first of all. Um, and usually like the features that I've worked with, I kind of know them already, like a Skyzoo or a Torre. Like, so I already know they're dope artists and people, so I would work with them no problem.
Is is there is there a process or is there a thought is there a thought process on any producers that you work with?
I definitely have to like their music. Um,
Okay.
I like to work with producers who are, for the most part, musicians, who are can play instruments. Um, I don't have anything against like people who chop beats or anything like that, which is a talent within itself. Word to Jay Dilla, because he killed he killed that. He was a genius in that sense. But I like to work with a a producer who does the keys, drums, throw a little bass on it. So I appreciate musicians.
So musicianship is big when you decide to work with a producer.
Yeah, yeah, for the most part, yeah.
This is a homage to the North Carolina scene, which
Okay.
until I was listening to the work that Centric did out there,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah,
the song Vibes,
comedian. Yeah. Hmm.
produced by Vibes, where all of the artists, if I'm not mistaken, are from North Carolina, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that, but yeah.
Which was produced by a West Coast artist. The artists that were on that record, did you know them prior to doing that record, or do you know them at all? Do you know?
Mm-mm. I don't. I didn't know them. Mm-mm.
But it's talking to him, and they're all female.
He kind of pieced it together. I don't know if he did it on purpose. But yeah, I did not know them.
Okay, and that's what really made me, because I actually reached out to him and I said, listen, I would love to get the opportunity to interview like the voice of that song. He was like, yo, man, I don't really know it like that, but I called a dude from Switzerland or from Mars or Venus or wherever, and he said, yo, you need to hit up. So it just made me really start to look into what was going on in the North Carolina music scene,
Yeah,
basically because of what you had going on.
right.
So talk about that whole song, Vibes, and how that came together for you, and you know what that did for your career, if anything, because that became one of my instant favorites. I think that song
Right.
is an absolute classic.
That's a great song. Yeah, I mean, Centric actually, he had hit me up years ago, wanted to submit beats for, I guess, a project I was working on at the time, but I ended up not I didn't use any of his tracks. Then he had hit me up again about this song he was working on, Vibes. Like he sent me the track. I think it only had one of the features on it at the time. But it was a really dope track. Um, and I was like, yeah, I'm down. And so we kind of just made it happen.
Nah, that definitely is one of like that song is a vibe within
Yeah.
itself, you know.
Right.
So, you just released Kismet Green
Hmm.
and you say you have some new material on the way.
I mean, I'm always working on music, but um, I'm working on some new things. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now when you before COVID hit, right? Um, were you performing at all?
I think I mentioned it earlier. Like I took time off. I took about 5 years off
Okay.
um, from all music performing. Um, I mean, I was recording here and there, but I definitely took some time off for it had been about 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Before that, had you been performing?
Yes.
Do you
Hmm.
miss it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The stage is a different, I mean, having that interaction with people is a different feeling. So yeah, I definitely miss it.
Now when you perform, is it a DJ or a live band?
I have a band, yes.
Oh, you showing
Hmm.
off. I would hit the
Hmm.
horn, but you don't got the horn twice already. Is as an artist, is there anything that you learned about yourself during this whole COVID period?
Um, I would say that I mean there were to be honest, there were times where um I was thinking, do I really want to do this anymore?
Okay.
How far, like how long is this gonna last? COVID or the pandemic or the lock-in, when we were all in the beginning about a year ago, like now around this time we were all stuck. um I actually was working at a day job and I had got laid off of there. I'm like, yo, so I kind of just took the opportunity to jump back into music full time. um so I what I learned about myself is, as long as I persevere and keep going, like I can do some dope things. So I believe in myself. It sounds real corny, but
No, it doesn't actually.
I had to dig real deep to the inspiration and be able to write during a time where it was very challenging. I have three children at home with me, three small children, so it's definitely was a challenge. But I made it. I made it. What? What now?
Three. Oh my gosh. What are
Yeah.
the
So
ages?
and they're young. They are 3, 4, and
I'm a
7.
I'm gonna pray for you. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Father God, Heavenly Father, please give this woman the patience necessary to deal with
Ooh,
a 3, 4, and a 7-year old.
yes.
You know, in yeah, Holy Son's name, Amen.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so during this pandemic, I think a lot of people, cause what's up? A lot of people have discovered a lot about themselves.
Hmm.
And what I've discovered is I don't mind being in front of an audience. Because normally when I do this, it's a documentary style. I ask people a question from behind the camera, they answer it, I chop it up, edit
Oh,
it. Now I
cool.
can't do that anymore because, you know, COVID, you got to figure some other stuff out. But
Yeah.
um, so some other things that have happened during COVID is the
Hmm.
versus battle. Familiar with
Yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah. I try to catch them all.
Shout out to the arrogant pupil, that's my baby brother. Shout out to On the Rocks, that's my big brother. You know,
Mhm.
um,
Hey, y'all.
he said moms are superheroes, and I agree 100%. Is there a versus battle that you haven't seen yet
Hmm.
that you would love to see?
Um, I I don't know. That's a good question. You know what? The two people I think I would want to see go against versus is Missy Elliott and Pharrell. Those are just
Whoa.
two of my favorite producers. I mean, Missy, she was I bought her album. That was like one of my first albums I bought. And it was a tape. So she's
Are you
been like a
are
big
you
inspiration. So
you dating
I want to
yourself with
see,
the tapes?
I know, right? But I want to see, I'm a big Missy fan, so I kind of want to see her. I don't know who she would go against though. Like I was kind of having this conversation. We're trying to think, I think some people said Missy and Busta, but I don't know. Like Missy, she produces, she raps, she sings, she writes for other artists. She's been doing this for since like the mid 90s. So I was trying to think of somebody who could go up to her. And if they played her whole catalog, like the songs she's written for other people, I think, Pharrell. But I don't
So
know.
so it's
And
it's
they're from VA, yeah.
VA is like a down south New York, but it's really not down south, but
It's in the
it's
middle.
south enough. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But Timberland, Teddy Riley. No, I think he originally from New York.
Yes, he's from New
Missy,
York.
Pharrell. So
Yeah.
it's it's ironic you said that because I had a young lady on here who was another amazing artist from Florida, and I asked her the
Hmm.
same question, and she mentioned Missy too.
Oh,
You know,
really?
she mentioned Missy too, and her music is amazing. Shout out to Tokyo X Music, Extraordinaire. Out of Florida. I think she's based in Miami. So, what
Yeah.
what is it about Missy and her music that you think most artists are drawn to, even though she's
Um,
not like in the spotlight anymore?
yeah, I think it has a lot to do with her paving the way as far as like her creativeness, like her videos, her songs. She was just different, and when she first came out, she didn't really look the way people expected like an artist to look. And but her music was so dope, like her writing, and she definitely paved the way for other artists to be more creative and how they express themselves. So I really appreciate that. Like I said, she was like the first tape I bought as a kid. So I was just, I mean, I would listen to that the Missy Misdemeanor, the Super Duper Fly album all the time, front to back, and I was just like, "Yo, this is amazing!" It was amazing to me. So I mean, I really respect her and her talent, and she needs her flowers. What now, because she definitely paved the way for a lot of singers and rappers.
Well, I'm gonna say this. It's crazy that you said what you just said because that segues me right into me telling you that I created this platform for artists like and creatives like yourself to give
Hmm.
you your flowers while you're alive, while you're able to smell them. And
I
you know,
appreciate that.
I,
Yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
that there are more artists like yourself than artists like Missy who are just as
Yeah,
talented who are just as creative and who are just as impactful.
yeah,
So, you know, for everybody who's watching right now, you know, that came on my behalf, who have been supporting me from day one, for everyone who has tuned in here from, who are in support of Miss Carlita Duran, if you can, throw a thumbs up, fire signal, just to give her her flowers right now while she's on the, tuned in with the TKB report. because she is indeed worthy of being celebrated and honored. Like she's got over 3,650 days in the game, you know, and
I
that's
appreciate that.
and to me that's to be celebrated. But not only have you had a long, extensive career, but it's a career of quality work. Like the
Yeah.
work that you've produced over time is quality work, from Doug and Patty to Carlita's Way to I'll Be Gorgeous When I Die and to now Kismet Green.
Yeah.
It's all, and for anyone who's in the sound of my voice, I need you to Google Miss Carlita Durand. And I promise you, she will make your playlist immediately. So, with that being said, what do you attribute your longevity to?
Um, first of all, I think I've been blessed with the talent to be able to sing and write. Um, and also being able to work well with others, I think is a big
Clearly,
part of this. Yeah. Because, there's a lot of artists who are just, it's hard to work with them and they end up not working with anybody else ever again. But it's definitely, it's my passion, it's my purpose. I believe it is. Even though there's sometimes or some days where I'm like, yo, am I going to keep doing this? It's been so and so years, but it pulls me in. It's like something that I can't stop doing. It's just, and I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to be able to be able to do what I love. Um, but yeah, it's take hard work, dedication, a lot of sweat, tears, blood. I put a lot of work into this, so I want to see. I want to see the fruits of my labor.
when you listen to your music, you can tell that like no song, like you don't waste a bar, you don't waste a lyric, you don't waste an opportunity.
Mm,
There's some certain rappers out there who don't waste a bar. Anytime they jump on the track, they're coming with 100% A game every single time. And listening to your music, I never listened to a song where I was just like, yo, she know what? She took this song off and just kind of wrote down anything just to, fill up the space.
yeah,
And I salute that. I appreciate all the music that you've done thus far. I appreciate the fact that you keep striving for greatness because your music actually does touch people. You know, you know.
I
I didn't,
appreciate that.
and I also appreciate the fact that you came onto your platform because this is your show. You know,
I think I appreciate you for doing this.
you
I
know,
really do.
this is your show. I had fun. You know, the people in North Carolina, make sure you check me out at the TKB Report. Follow me at the TKB Report. And if you want to see interviews like this, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, the TKB Report YouTube. And for everybody else that's on here that was not aware of the talented Carlita Durand, make sure that you follow at Carlita Durand, CARLITTA DURAND,
Yes.
and make sure you support that music. Like she is absolutely amazing. She is as humble as they come, but as talented as they come as well. And
Thank you.
I'm just thankful for the opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I
You
mean,
know,
being an artist, you don't really hear people um, expressing their things or that your music touched them much. So I really appreciate this platform. I appreciate you, what you're doing, and I mean, I hopefully it turns into something big for you.
well, I got some things in the work, and
Great.
anybody who's
Yeah.
been on the platform is definitely going to be a part of it. So, you know, this is the part of the show that I don't like, and that's the end of the show. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tuned In with the TKB report. She is CARLITTA DURAND. I am Mr. Three Keys. And you've just
Thank
been
you.
tuned in.
Thank you guys all for watching.
And in the
Make sure you get my album, Kismet Green.
Kismet Green,
It's on
super dope,
all
super
music
fire.
platforms. Yeah.
I just bought it off of Bandcamp not too long ago.
Thank you.
So
Thank
Bandcamp for
you.
sure. Kismet Green,
Bandcamp. Yep. And
CARLITTA.
I'm working on more music, so just be on the lookout.
And anytime you have anything else coming on, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love to have you back.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, you've just been tuned in. Peace.